I spend a lot of time working with athletes and college coaches, and one of the things that I try and teach them is that obstacles are necessary for success. And oftentimes as I'm talking to young people especially, who really maybe not faced any adversity, I just tell them my own story. I mean, I actually came from a family where my parents were married 9 times. My mother was married 5 times, my father was married 4 times. And we had a very challenging childhood. I mean, we never had a lot of money. We would get thrown out of places because we couldn't pay the rent. I'd bring my friends home and the lights would be turned off and the phone would be turned off because they hadn't paid the bills. And so, you grow up with that philosophy. And I was lucky enough to get a college scholarship to go play college football. But I really didn't know what I was going to do. So I got a job as a coach. And I did that for a year and then realized that I probably needed to find something else to do to make a living. So I got a job in selling, but after 9 months realized that it's not for me because I'm not that outgoing. I was actually more introverted. So I went back into coaching with the idea that I would become a college coach. Well, the way you become a college coach is you get a job as a graduate assistant somewhere. And so I got a chance to be a graduate assistant at Northeast Louisiana University. Now, I had not done well in college. I mean, I graduated with a 2.18 GPA, and I was on academic probation every semester that you could be on academic probation possible. I wasn't on the first semester and I wasn't on the last semester, but I was not a great student. But I thought I'd get in graduate school at Northeast Louisiana University. Now, it's a great school, but I still thought a degree from VMI, where I went, would get me there. Well, they actually wrote me a letter on February 6, 1974 and said, "Sir, we have reviewed your application and decided to deny your admission. Even we have standards." And so I'm 25 years old and my life's dream is over. And that's when I realized that in life, you're either going backward, you're going forward, or you're standing still. And at best, I was standing still. So I made the decision that I'm going to learn what successful people do, because success is nothing but a set of skills. There's a day you couldn't tie your shoe and somebody taught you. There's a day you couldn't ride a bike and somebody taught you. So I started to learn these life skills. Now, my road to success was still very, very bumpy. Now, I had lots of success in the pharmaceutical business. So I started as a rep, became a district manager, had 2 regional managers and a district manager who shaped my life in every conceivable way. And I wound up running this pharmaceutical company as the vice president and general manager. But I left them because I thought I could be successful on my own. I thought I could start my own company, and I did. And boy, was I dumb. Because what I did was I very quickly made myself broke. Now, I never went bankrupt, and I'm very proud of that. But I did borrow $123,000 from 17 different credit cards, and it took me 7 years to pay them off. Now, I paid every single one of them off, and every single one of them I still have today, because without them I wouldn't have started my business. But my challenges weren't over then. I created a business, wound up selling it to another company. We didn't make any money on it. I did get a small consulting contract, and then I went to Phoenix and went to work for a friend of mine. 15 months later, he fires me. I'm 51 years old. I'm living in Phoenix, Arizona. I have a 1-year-old child. I have enough money to last me 4 months. Obstacles are necessary for success. They force us to get better or quit. Now, what did I do? I relied on the 2 things that I knew really, really well. One was, how do you sell something? And I knew if I could figure out something to sell, I'd be fine. The second thing I realized is I had to use my network to propel me to success. And I did those 2 things. And 90 days later, I started the company that I now run today, that has 30 employees, has done business with 15 of the top 100 companies in America, and is the premier life sciences company. Now, I'm not smart enough to believe that my days of traveling, my days of obstacles are over, because they may not be. But here's what I know. If you have a network, if you have skills, and you have the belief that failure is not an option, you can always succeed. You have to remember, there's a reason why that rearview mirror is small and that windshield is big, because you're not supposed to look back, you're supposed to look forward. And if you do that, and you have the mindset that failure is not an option, you can overcome anything, and you can see obstacles as what they are, a lesson that what you need to be doing is something else.